I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
Well, guys, Jenny on the Rock finally caught me in my first lie. I thought our time together had come to an end, but I just can't quit. A problem she's very familiar with. Actually, I would love to quit, but after that last video, a slew of parents reached out to me with some horrifying new information about Jennifer Aniston. And Jen, I suggest you pay very close attention to this video, because if you thought it was bad before, you have no idea how bad it's about to get. But my old racist neighbor does, and if you could talk to her, she'd probably tell you how badly you fucked up. And when I say that, it's not like I'm gonna sue you with an imaginary lawyer type of situation, so buckle up, buttercup. Now, I had all these parents from Mentor, Ohio reach out to me to tell me how much of a terrorist Jenny is to her town, not only to parents and elected officials and her neighbors, but to children. She interrupts so often that the school board has police on hand, because sometimes she needs to be forcibly removed and other times she just needs to be reminded.
What I was saying is that, I'm sorry, I can't think straight with the
I'm
audience.
sorry, ma'am, you have been asked, this isn't the way that we conduct our meetings, and, no, I'm sorry, ma'am, this is a public meeting, this is a business meeting, and you are here to witness the meeting, but not to interact with us at this point. We have 2 public participation moments. This is not one of them. The next time you speak, I will ask you to be escorted out.
Now, of course, obnoxious, disruptive psycho Karens at school board meetings are not uncommon, and she goes on to do all of the things you would expect from one of those. And that would be bad enough if that was all Rocket Ma'am did at board meetings, but it gets so much worse. At another meeting, she was forced to leave because she was bullying a trans child in the hallway. Harassment and bullying, she went there with the intention to do, because she was so mad that a trans person was existing at the school that she brought some gays against groomers dipshit to speak about how evil trans people are. Now, most people would leave after getting kicked out of a school board meeting, but not Miss Overdosing on OnlyFans here. Oh no. First she walks out the door and then turns around and walks back in the door to harass other children, as the security cam footage shows.
That's Jen walking out as the children she was bullying are walking in, and Jen stops, turns around, comes back in to continue to bully them, and then her little gays against groomers friend comes in, and an adult has to come and tell them to just walk away.
And then she goes outside and she starts screaming and saying absolutely heinous shit to that trans child's mother in the parking lot. And we have footage, some of which was even provided by Jenny from the cell block herself, but we'll get to that because it gets so much worse.
Control your son. Bitch, shut your mouth. I'm gonna get you. You're gonna go back to jail.
Why don't you shut the fuck up? What are you gonna do? What the fuck are you gonna do? What the fuck are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, sweetheart? What are you gonna do, sweetheart? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
You're not allowed to have guns.
She doesn't have guns, dumbass.
Yes, you did. You
How?
on your video.
No, she didn't.
Oh, Jenny, weren't you just bragging to all of us about how you're allowed to have guns and you have all of your beautiful pew-pews, as you called them, and we've all seen the pictures, so clearly you do. So why is it when you're standing in front of a cop, suddenly you don't have guns anymore? I thought you were allowed to have them.
Peep, you said no. No. What the fuck did you do to your kid?
Okay.
Ruined your kid's life.
Your kid is gonna fucking hate you.
This is gonna be
Your kid's
great.
gonna hate you. Your kid's gonna commit suicide because that's what they all do.
That is a 14-year-old child crack pipe princess there is screaming about. You want to know why trans kids commit suicide, Jenny? They do it because of people like you. When kids are allowed to have gender-affirming care by their loving parents, it reduces suicide rates by 73%. In fact, trans kids wouldn't commit suicide at any higher rate than anybody else if people like you did not exist. And of course, she continues.
You just got custody of you're a mom of the year, sweetheart.
I got custody of both of my kids. My son is a mechanical engineer, you moron.
Yeah, who hangs out with trans people and doesn't agree with you because I do know that. You have a problem. You just have you have a problem. You have a problem. Okay, get a little angrier. Amp it up a little more. Maybe. Okay. When were you raising them? When you were in prison writing the letters, or when? Exactly.
I was in prison.
Let me know when this was happening. Let me know when this was happening.
Do the math, Annie.
Sweet. You have a 5-year-old.
I have a 6-year-old.
And you're also busy clutching your pearls over porn in our school. Meanwhile, your vagina's all over the internet.
Do you see it? You like
no, people send it to me.
Oh, I'm sure you look
Oh, yeah, I love it. I'm so into it.
Can we just take a moment to realize the tragedy of the fact that a 7-year-old child has that, saying this kind of shit in the parking lot of a school as a mother?
Got her on camera.
No.
I'm gonna get you.
She said my 14-year-old daughter was walking into the school, and this lady said something to her.
I got your daughter
We got her on tape.
leaving the car, talking, saying what they're going to do.
And then they finally get escorted away by police again. But the great Crackholio couldn't even stop there. She went home and bragged about how she bullied a child and her family on her Patreon and podcast live stream thing for money. And it is beyond disgusting.
And I'm over here, I'm getting just, so you know what I said? Here's what I'll tell you I said. I said this, you are a boy, you're not a girl. And what else did I say? Oh, you're a biological male. And in fact, your shorts, I see a bulge, which tells me you're not a girl. And that's what I said. So you're so scared about your child's safety. Why the fuck would you bring this kid and two others? It's bad enough you're going to bring your own child up to the school board member where you said, I'm so concerned about my child's safety at the school board meetings. You knew I was there. You were in that room. You saw me speak. So why would you do that? You knew I was there. You saw me speak. So why would you do that? You know what? By affirming this child's delusion, now this child thinks that he can confront a woman. I'm going to say that. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. How about that? I don't care. Now, this is probably not one of my proudest moments, and I may or may not have body shamed her a little bit, but I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You call the cops on me. You say I threatened the transgender community, but you're going to bring your transgender child up to the meeting to confront me. Should have said more. Well, boo.
Guys, that poor trans kid and her family got so much hate and harassment and bullying by Jenny and her little bigotry brigade that they moved states. Jenny bullied them out of their home. What the fuck is wrong with you, Jen? You bragged on the internet. You were proud about pointing out the bulge in a child's pants. After you, a very rough 40-something-year-old woman made a child feel upset for showing up to her school's public school board meeting, and you made her feel unsafe. You blamed her feeling unsafe for the parents bringing them to that public meeting. Not for your actions of harassing and bullying and threatening children. No, it's the parents' fault for allowing their child to exist in public. You are a fucking horrible excuse for a human being, and the best reason I have ever heard for why paramedics shouldn't be allowed to carry Narcan. Because if they couldn't, that poor child wouldn't be living with the trauma you have fucking inflicted on them. Now, Jenny, I know you think you're hotter than your heroin spoon and the only bully big enough to make people feel uncomfortable in their own communities. But Jen, judging by the lack of sleep you look like you've been getting lately, you already know that I'm the bully that other bullies check under their bed for before they go to sleep. And I think, Jen, you should stop being a bully, and I really think you're gonna see it my way, because I'm about to tell everybody near the Mentor, Ohio area that school board meetings are public, and the next one is this coming Tuesday. They are the second Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. And I encourage everybody anywhere near the Mentor, Ohio area that's got time on a Tuesday and thinks that trans rights are human rights, and who think kids and their families should be able to go to school and school board meetings and just exist in their communities without the fear of being harassed, bullied, and threatened by used up bigoted junkies like Jen, even if a pedophile pill popper thinks she sees a bulge in a child's pants. I encourage all of you who can to show up and show love and support for all of the people who have been terrorized by that track-marked taint. Hell, you guys could even get matching Captain Crack Sparrow t-shirts to wear. It'll be fun. I'd go, but you know, it's Ohio. Just kidding. If I was close enough, I would be there. But for all of the people who can, it would mean the world to all of these parents who truly have been put through the ringer by this woman. And this is exactly the type of community building we need to be doing to take our country back from this trash. So go there, make some friends, create some allies, and just be a good neighbor, because they certainly have some bad ones they could use some buddies to stand up to. And Jenny, eyes on me. I need you to focus. I know it's probably hard with the heroin, but I need you to hear this. I don't care where you slither off to. I've heard you've been talking about moving to Florida, which seems great for you. If anybody ever reaches out to me and tells me that you are going to another school board meeting, city council meeting, a fucking dog park where you are not welcome and you are causing problems and harassing people and bullying children or marginalized communities, or really anybody, I will make sure that I do everything in my power to use my platform to make sure that those communities come together to protect themselves from you. And if you think I'm bluffing, Jenny, you should maybe go watch my racist neighbor videos, because I've done this before. So I hope we've got an understanding, because I really don't ever want to hear about you again, and I've got other shit I'd like to make content about, but if you're gonna bully literal children out of their hometowns, you are going to be my priority. All right, good talk. Rest of Ohio, Tuesday at 6 and every second Tuesday of the month, Mentor Ohio School Board meeting. Be there, build some community, make something beautiful out of the bullying this bitch has done. Don't hurt or harass her or anything, just make sure all the seats are filled so she's got to stand. And make some friends. We could all use more of those.